Okay, today I'm going to get into the Smart Recovery app. It's just like any app you can download on your phone, and it's a great tool that you can use when you're in recovery. So it pretty much has everything you need for recovery when it comes to smart recovery. So it has pretty much the whole uh, book in an app that you can just download on your phone, which is great because then nowadays you pretty much everyone goes no one goes anywhere without their phone. So you always have it handy, so you can whip out your phone and pull up the app and everything. So it pretty much goes into the stuff like I said in the handbook, and it goes over the chapters, the concepts in the chapters. So it has starts off with a motivation tab where you can go in and kind of find motivation that can help you keep going through your recovery. It also has on the bottom it has a meetings tab that you can go into and search for a local meetings in your area and everything. So if you're like me and you're unfortunate where there aren't any smart recoveries in the area, you can also search for online ones as well. So a big one for instance is the next tab, which is the toolbox, which gets into all the stuff the in the in the chapters I've gotten over, and the first few ones I've done. So the toolbox goes through the ABC tools, the cost benefit analysis. It has the change plan worksheet. It goes that through the deads, the deny, delay, escape, avoid, accept, attack, distract, and then you substitute. And it has the dispute and irrational beliefs. It has the disarm. It has a goal setting. It also has the hierarchy of values, life, the little circular pie chart, it's called lifestyle balance pie, where you put right down stuff that of that you go through your lifestyle. A lot of stuff I've gotten into after the chapters, it deals with physical and mental health and everything, especially with just finishing up the 7 pillars and everything. So you can do that on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, or you may get to a point like me where you just kind of you don't necessarily think about it because you've been doing it so long, where you just okay, this is what's on the docket for today, this is what's on the docket for this week, this month, and everything. So they also get into what's the role playing rehearsal, you're standing in front of the mirror and you're talking back and forth with yourself on getting ready for a job interview or something. So of course, when people think of role playing, they tend to think of games like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So but role playing actually has a real world place in that. Like I said, you go stand in front of a mirror and you talk to yourself back and forth, kind of rehearsing how you think that the job interview is going to go and everything. So that way, you go in better prepared for that job interview. So when you're starting to ask, you're asked maybe an odd question, you're not sitting there you're you take a pause and then you're able to answer and not have that mental stumble, and be able to go through it and in the toolbox they also have things the urge log, and what's the VACI, the vital absorbent creative interest. So with something like that, you could use to get into your actual interest. It could be anything creative, whether it's actually creating clay or stone sculptures, painting or drawn, or doing sketches or stuff, or you could also get into other creative endeavors writing books, or like I mentioned, the role playing with D&D and everything. You can get into creative fantasy games like that or whatever. You could also maybe it could be someone who's interested in creating films or something. So those are ideas you could use with the vital absorbent creative interest and everything. And also with the toolbox, it gets into the unconditional self-acceptance and everything. So that one is probably doing a quick search on it this morning, that seems to be like the biggest one, since like I said, it tends to get into the whole handbook and everything, and so this gives you pretty much like the whole toolbox that you find in the handbook that you can pull up on your phone and be able to get dive into it. So like for instance, like you might be like me and have the handbook but kind of keep it at home or whatever. The great thing about having this app is that like if you're at work or whatever and you get stressed out or something, you can just pull out your phone and just like sit here and pull it up and just be like, okay, well, here, let's go through this and like find out what's bothering me and everything. So they also have like a fourth like a tab, and it's called the Insights tab, where they have like a number of videos, or like they see podcasts that most of the ones that are up as of right now range from 25 to 45 minutes and everything. So what you can do is you can pull one of those up, and wherever you are, you could be driving to and from work. So something I do a lot is like when I'm driving to work is I'll listen and catch up onto any one of the number of podcasts that I'm listening to. So you can do that, or like if you're at work or have a job where you can sit there and put in an earbud or something, you can like listen to them at work or something. Or if you're the type that prefers to listen to podcasts over music when you're working out, that could be something that maybe pumps you up instead of music. You could listen to them while you're working out and everything. So the tab is just this whole app is just like another tool that you can use to help in recovery. So in today's modern day, where like I said, you have you pretty much always have your cell phone on you, having this app is indispensable tool that you could use, because it's going to be with you as long as you have your phone and everything. So and you for instance, with the meetings, you may not necessarily have some in your area, or you might not necessarily have time in the day to go to a meeting, but you can you can at least still pull it up and see maybe find one online that you can maybe you're busy Monday through Friday, but you can find one online that you see on Saturday, hey, look, maybe I can finagle my Saturday routine or whatever, and set it up so I can attend this one online and everything. So and so it's just, like I said, it's just another tool that you can use and to kind of help and go about going about the recovery. So and me being big into having left AA and not being too keen on the 12-step programs. This is one of the substitutes that I kind of fell into early on, and this is probably a number of years ago, and even after leaving AA and everything, it's still it helps me kind of go on with recovery and everything. So a lot of things for me, after having quit years ago, things have become automatic. It gets back into getting into establishing the behaviors and the stuff, and sort of what I went over with the 7 pillars, you doing it that stuff every day and everything. So stuff becomes second nature, where you pretty much become on autopilot. Okay, I wake up at this time, I do this and this before I go to work, and then I went from work from here from this time to this time I get home, and that's my time to chill. Or maybe I do these 3 things before work, and then when I get home I do these other 4 things, and that seems to work for me. So this is just a different ultimately a different approach that I view as a lot better than your traditional 12 steps programs, because I'm a big fan on doing stuff like this that puts science and psychology first and foremost ahead of where it's especially in 12-step programs like AA, where religion is pretty much it's a must and everything. So and with stuff like smart recovery, it is more adaptable to each individual. It's not a 12-step program where it's cut and paste and all right, everyone does the same thing and everything. Which doesn't necessarily the one size fits all approach doesn't necessarily work. So with this app and everything, like it gives you like even more tools to help uh, expand like tools that you can use to pull upon, and like go from there. So like just like anything, like it's just another one of those things that you can use to help yourself go on. So like, and I'll reiterate, the greatest thing about this is like being an app that you can download. It pretty much goes wherever you go, so like you always have it, so like with you. So like even if you don't have like a Wi-Fi connection, you can just turn on your data and be like and pull it up, and in a matter of like a minute or two, you can be right into the app and just like going into like all the details and everything that like they have, and so like that can and continue to help you through your journey of recovery.